That's got to be the biggest kingfisher I've ever seen. You know, I can just imagine a shiny red 40-foot beetle narrowboat coming round that corner now. So that's another step forward and something else I can tick off the list.
We are now approaching Kidderminster. Please mind the gap when leaving the train and step onto the platform before removing heavy luggage and pushchairs.
And once again I'm at Kidderminster. So I've come back to the Staffordshire and Worcestershire Canal here at Kidderminster. I'm at bridge number 15, Caldwell Hall Bridge. And this time I'm going in that direction. Oh, a lovely towpath at the moment. Absolutely can't fault this. Canal's quite wide as well. So I'm heading north of Kidderminster this time. Last time, if you remember, I went down to Stourport on 7 where the canal begins, and now I'm going in the other direction. See how far I can walk today. Look how wide that canal is there. Fabulous. It's quite breezy and sunny. When I left home this morning, about 8:30 I think it was quite cold and grey, and there was a light drizzle in the air. So decided to come on foot and leave the Brompton at home again. Even though the towpath is great at the moment, of course it could very quickly change, and with all the rain we've been having, I suspect there are some muddy sections ahead. Look at that fantastic brickwork. What a chimney. I'll see if I can find out what that building is. So once upon a time there was a Frankie and Benny's there, but I have a feeling that this chimney predates them, and it's good to see that it's still here. So here's a stroke of luck, there's a narrowboat coming down. So I'm just there now, and it looks like there's a lock which is perhaps underneath the roundabout, and it'll be the Kidderminster lock. It's 11 foot 10 inch deep. That's pretty deep. Let's go and take a look. Yeah, I was right. So bridge number 16, Kidderminster Bridge. Quite substantial road above it. These bollards are for boats which are going through the lock, which I can see just ahead. There is the lock. Pretty high gates, aren't they? Kidderminster lock. And this is what it looks like from above. Oh, that is deep, isn't it? So the plate on the lock gates tells me these were installed 2005. Well, that's a pretty sight, I have to say. I've not seen many more picturesque settings than this for a lock. Absolutely gorgeous. So just in front of the lock, what I'm walking on now is an aqueduct. I think that's the River Stour underneath the aqueduct. I'll check on that, and if I'm wrong I'll let you know in the comments below. Looks like there's an old crane that's been left intact over there, just in front of the church. It's all very, very pretty. Very nice mooring area here. You can moor for up to 5 days. I can see a narrowboat moored up ahead. Lovely mooring rings. That's what I like to see. This is bridge number 17, Lime Kiln Bridge. Oh, looks pretty low, doesn't it? If I was on my bike I'd be getting off and pushing under here, I think. I don't see any signs that say cyclists dismount, but yeah, I need to duck even to walk under it. Wow, those flats have got a lovely outlook, haven't they? Straight out onto the canal. Yeah, so a lot of housing developments along the side of the canal here. Fairly recent by the looks of them. I tell you what, I'm a little bit annoyed of myself for not bringing the Brompton today, because I mean, just look at this towpath. I think this is the longest length of sustained fantastic towpath that I've seen in months and months and months, and would have made very good progress with the bike. Of course, there's no guarantee that this isn't going to stop in like a couple of 100 yards and be replaced with a muddy track. That is the problem with the towpaths. The Nicholson guide doesn't really, it doesn't go that far. It shows you where the towpaths are, but it can't hope to tell you what they're going to be like at any time. Well, that's interesting. I'm sure Janet would remark on that. There's a beehive over there. My eyesight's not good enough to see if there are any bees going in or out. A nice little garden is maintained by somebody there. Very, very pretty. I think that's probably a private mooring over there where that blue boat is tied up. Lots of birds in these trees. And this bridge, I think, is Stour Vale Bridge. Yeah, Stour Vale New Bridge, it says, actually. So they obviously replaced an old one with this new one, which I have to say does look very smart. This is so picturesque. I'm sure a lot of people would say they find all this housing a bit of a blight, but I think the red brick and the white windows and the lovely gardens, I think they look quite nice up against the canal here. As usual, ducks. trying to decide where to go for their lunch, I expect. Coming up now to a winding hole. There's a sluice there. It's quite a sharp little winding hole, isn't it? That's where you would pull your boat in lengthways, reverse it out, and then turn to be facing the other direction. So what I said about the towpath didn't last long, did it? Nice puddle of water there. So it's not quite so great anymore, but it's not that bad. I would have been okay with the bike. I could have gone to the side. Canal narrows here. I think it's an aqueduct. I think there's probably some piped water underneath. You know, I can just imagine a shiny red 40-foot Beetle narrowboat coming round that corner now, with the name Gladys written on the side, and me stood at the back. I can just imagine that now. See if you can as well. Just what a pretty sight that would be. And I hope it won't be long until that could become a reality. I really like this canal, so it's quite possible that I would like to bring the boat down here. Of course, what's always a treat on the canals is if you see a kingfisher, and there is one. That's got to be the biggest kingfisher I've ever seen. Very, very impressive. Took some skill to carve that. Came on the train from Hereford today, changed at Droitwich Spa, and then it's just a short journey on another train from Droitwich to Kidderminster. Both trains exactly on time. Well done to West Midlands Railways again. As I was on the train, I had a phone call from Robin, the sign writer. He's actually at Aintree Boats today, looking at the few boats he's got on his list to do next. So we had a nice chat, and he's going to be starting on Gladys almost straight away. He's going to send me some photos once he's finished, and I'll post them here on the channel. So that's another step forward and something else I can tick off the list. Wolverley Court lock then, at 6 feet deep, full at the moment. And the bridge in front is known as Wolverley Court Bridge. Looks like these gates were replaced 2019, so just 5 years old. I wish that the video could contain scent for you, because the smell from this bush, these flowers, is absolutely gorgeous. You know, this canal, at this point anyway, reminds me an awful lot of the Monmouthshire and Brecon. Lots of twists and turns. Not terribly wide anymore. There's some more of that red sandstone over there. Must have taken a lot of work to carve out the canal. Just coming into the village of Wolverley now. There's a Wolverley lock up ahead, and the bridge is called Wolverley Bridge. Wolverley Bridge, number 20. Thirsty travellers are very lucky that there's a pub right next door to the lock here, and it's called the Lock. And there's the church, which stands atop a bit of an outcrop, I think. Looks like I can get to the church up here. So it's so unusual, I think it's definitely worth a visit. Well, I think I can get in this way. Let's see. Well, I'm afraid the clock is wrong. It's actually 5 to 1. But that's absolutely beautiful piece of architecture. Red brick. So I wonder how old it is. Perhaps there'll be something inside that will tell us. See if I can get in. According to a leaflet I've picked up, there's been a church here since the 13th century, and the replacement church was consecrated in September 1772. Turned out to be a beautiful day. I had at one time thought of going back up to Brecon today and seeing how different the canal might look now that the works are finished. But the weather forecast for Brecon was pretty much rain all day. So I checked out Birmingham and Kidderminster, and the forecast was for sunshine until around tea time, so looks like they've been right. Here's the winding hole again. It's quite a tight turn if you're coming from this direction, so yeah, with a longer boat you'd have to take it back and forth a few times, I think. And I'm back at Hereford once again. Full marks to West Midlands trains. All 4 trains I went on today were bang on time. So I hope you've enjoyed that walk up the Staffordshire and Worcestershire Canal from Kidderminster to Wolverley. It was a lot warmer there than it is here in Hereford, I must say. It's a lovely canal and I enjoyed it. And if you did too, give the video a like, a thumbs up, leave a comment. And as always, I would ask, if you've not subscribed yet, please think of doing that, and that would be much appreciated. Well over 600 subscribers now, and I'd love to get to 1,000. So that's it for today. I'll see you again next week from somewhere else and doing something else. Till then, bye.